Las Vegas, a city where anything can happen. And that pretty much sums up life for a poker player.
You know what the Lord told me?
Oh, no way.
He says, when you step up to the table, you're on your own.
It may not be divine intervention, but Jesus is at the final table. And he knows the competition will be tough.
So I would say that the best player at that table would have to be Chau.
Raise 10,000.
And Robert Williamson, and he's very, very aggressive.
Aggressive and crazy.
I need the money.
I like to be unpredictable.
Poker, you just never know what you're gonna get.
Ooh, it was a face card.
Welcome to the World Series of Poker, presented by Miller High Life. Omaha is the new game, and if variety is the spice of life, this final table is living well. Though similar to Hold'em, Omaha does add a lot of interesting wrinkles, and our final group of 9 is as diverse and intriguing as it gets. Hello, everybody. Lon McCarron alongside Norm and Chad. Norm, the players who excel at Omaha use a different poker muscle than others, and a great example at our final table here tonight.
Yeah, Chris Ferguson is here, also known as Jesus. He has won 5 World Series bracelets. He plays a variety of games, Hold'em, Omaha, Stud, as well as anybody at a tournament level over the last several years.
And as Jesus said earlier here in the Open, he's not the only top player at the table.
Yeah, Jesus fears Chau, Giang, and I'm not one to argue with Jesus.
Robert Williamson may very well be the best American Omaha player, and I underscore American because Omaha, the most popular game in Europe, and we've got some terrific players from across the pond, and we'll meet them as we proceed through the hands. Checking our Miller High Life pocket cam, you see the big difference between Omaha and Hold'em. Each player gets 4 hole cards. And you're looking at Chris Ferguson now deciding exactly how he's going to play. You can just use 2 of those hole cards. He'll bet 10,000.
And now Robert Williamson, and as you said, he can only use 2 of these hole cards with the board, so he would use the 2 kings or the 2 4s, and he also is double suited. He has 2 diamonds and 2 spades, so a possibility for a flush either way, and he will play.
A call from Robert Williamson. The table folds over to the Aussie, Jeffrey Lisandro. He's got an ace high and a number of possibilities there.
Yeah, he's got 2 hearts, so he's drawing to the nut flush with the ace, and he's also got connecting cards, which also helps your hand.
3-handed on the flop, and the flop comes out 6, queen 6. Big for Lisandro.
Yeah, that gives him a set of 6s right off the bat, making him a huge favorite in the hand right now.
Chris Ferguson checks.
And now Robert Williamson on the flop. He has a flush draw, a diamond flush draw, and of course still the pocket kings, so he might be considering a play.
Robert Williamson, our chip leader, as we began this hand, will push in 13,000 chips. You know, he doesn't look happy about it. Now, that will force Lisandro to make a decision what he wants to do with his 3 6s, and he is going to go all in.
And that makes Jesus' decision pretty easy. He got no piece of that flop, so he gets out of the way.
Now back to Robert Williamson.
Count it, please. Put the 13s in and tell what's the rest.
Well, Robert wants to see how big the pot is. He had told us before we started today that he wanted to play conservative at the outset as the chip leader, not get too involved. But now he's already involved in a pot, and he may go deeper into this pot, maybe deeper than he wants to get.
Trying to look into the soul of the Aussie as Robert Williamson ponders his decision.
I committed myself with that bet.
So Robert's beating himself over the head for making the bet, increasing the chances he's going to stay in this pot, and he knows that Lisandro might have a couple of queens in his hand or the 6.
Call.
And yet he still calls.
And that will actually put Lisandro all in.
Ooh, got a 6. That's the hand I can. That's the hand I can fight. That's what I was hoping he had was a 6.
Yeah, well, Robert can still get a diamond or a king or a 4 gives him a full house.
Ah, it's a 9.
And now I got to have a king. Oh, yeah, now I'm in trouble.
Because Lisandro now has a 6s over 9s full house, and now only a king would give Robert a bigger full house.
And we're ready now for the river card. Another 9. A better full house for Jeffrey Lisandro. You see on the screen 2 cards fade, leaving the 2 cards that each player used to make their best hand. And it is Jeffrey Lisandro drawing first blood in today's Pot Limit Omaha tournament. Here are the Miller High Life rules for Omaha. The game is pretty much the same as Texas Hold'em, except for one big difference. Instead of being dealt 2 cards, each player receives 4 down cards. A round of betting occurs as players decide for the first time if they're in or they're out. Then 5 community cards follow, with betting after the flop, the turn, and the river. Those still in reveal their cards, but here's the catch. A player must use 2 and only 2 of their down cards, along with 3 of the community cards. And as always, the best 5-card hand wins the pot. Back to the final table of our Pot Limit Omaha tournament.
Lon, let me remind you,
What's
because
that?
I know you have a bad memory. In this game, you get 4 down cards, but you can use 2 of them. You must use 2 of them. You may use 2 of them. Only 2 of them. Got it?
Got it. Got it. And I love that aspect of this game. Chau, Giang, you look at his 4 hole cards.
And here's an example. He might use the 2 clubs he has or the 2 hearts. Plus, he has several cards that connect for a possible straight.
One of 2 players at our table, born in Vietnam. He'll bet 10,000 chips. And action over to the other player, born in Vietnam, Ming La. And he'll look at his 4, and he's got a lot of possibilities there.
Again, his cards are very close for a straight possibility. They connect. Plus, he had 2 clubs in there for the flush possibility. So a really good drawing hand that you might want to look at cheaply.
And he'll push in the call. Though he is at a disadvantage right now, the hand. Now folding over to Chris Ferguson. We'll look at his 4. He's got a couple of 5s in there and double suited.
Yes, indeed. He's got the nut flush spade draw, and he also got 2 hearts. So great possibilities there, along with his pair of 5s.
It's like a 3D chess game.
Yes, it
Playing
is.
Omaha. The percentage next to the player's name is the probability they will have the best hand at the end. 3-handed at the flop. It's 3, Queen 2. Good for Chau, Giang.
Yeah, Jesus was the favorite before the flop, but now Chau with a pair of queens. Jesus does not see any type of flush possibility, but he has a straight draw, and La got no part of that flop.
Ferguson checks over to Chau, Giang. There you see Giang check, as does La. And we'll go to the turn card now. 2 pair now for Chau, Giang, and a club flush draw.
Jesus checks, and now up to Chau. And you know, the difference between pot limit and no limit, in this game, you can only bet up to the size of the pot. Chau decides to bet 30,000.
Ming La, you see the 0%, and he knows, probably in his mind, it's 0%. He throws it away.
That's a low percent.
That is very low.
Jesus now looking at his possibilities. A 4 would give Jesus a straight. An ace on the river would give him a higher 2 pair than Chau, and a 5 would give him a set of 5s. Possibilities there, but the pot's not real big, and Jesus doesn't have a whole lot of chips.
And he doesn't have any more cards. As he throws them in, Chau, Giang wins the hand. And as we look up from the hole, our rabbit cam shows what the river card would have been. No help for Jesus, and he stays alive for now. At the outer tables at the Horseshoe in the opening stages of the 9th of the 33 World Series events. They're playing No Limit Hold'em. 831 showed up to play there. Here at our Omaha final table, Chris Ferguson, short stacked. He's not out yet, though.
Jesus is so intelligent and has such a photographic memory. As I found out, there isn't much this PhD in computer science can't do at a poker table.
My father teaches game theory at UCLA. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this deck to shuffle here. So I've always been brought up around games. Then I'm going to have you select one card out of there and put it in here. My dissertation was called the virtual network algorithm. I'm going to look at each one of these cards, one at a time. After I've seen the 51 cards, I'm going to know what the missing card is.
I don't think so.
I think there's a lot of relevance in my education to poker. I use probability theory all the time. Poker is both an art and a science. You really have to know the science to know exactly how to play your hand. I think it's the 9 of spades.
The 9 of spades? I'm not a believer. That's not possible.
Oh, you got to be able to do stuff like that if you want to play poker.
I would call that man a magician, but that might be downgrading what he does. What he does is real, and it is amazing. But he might need a little magic now. He's getting very short on chips and in the big blind. And you look at the hole cards of Ming La. He's got 2 pair there, aces and 9.
Remember, he can only use 2 of those, the aces or 9s, and La looks over at Jesus' dwindling stack to see how much he's got left so he can put them all in if he wants.
And that's exactly what Ming La does. And we look at Ferguson's hole cards. Not a lot happening there.
No, that's not the optimal group of cards you want when you don't have much left. He's really caught between a rock and a hard place here.
So Chris Ferguson, with not a lot of options, will call all in, and his tournament life now is at stake. La reveals his hand. Chris Ferguson now recognizes how far he is behind in this hand as we prepare for the flop. And here it comes. It is 7, Queen 10. The aces for La holding up.
That's an ugly flop for Jesus.
I don't need like a 6.
And the turn is a 3. Now he's got a straight possibility, does Jesus.
His one possibility now to stay alive is to get a 6 for a straight.
Here comes the river card. No 6, indeed. It's an ace. 3 aces for Ming La will spell the end to Chris Ferguson's day. He made his first final table in this year's World Series of Poker here in the 8th event of 33, and he'll be the first one to exit the Omaha pot limit final table. 9th place, $11,380 for his efforts. Ming La was 3rd in chips after day 1, adds to his stack, and looking for more. And every player remaining at the table knows their payday goes up each time someone else walks away. Ready to continue, and you look at Chau Giang and his 4 hole cards, and not bad starting cards.
No double suited, already looking at an ace flush or a king flush with the diamond.
Where's 14? And he'll put 14 into the pot. And then we go over to one of the Europeans' top players, Paul Maxfield. Not as nice.
Not as nice, but they're connected cards, and he's also got a flush draw in there.
Giang looks like a Dodger relief pitcher getting ready to close it out. So Maxfield is in, an advantage to Chau Giang. And we're set for the flop. 2-handed here. Giang and Maxfield. And here it comes. It's 8, 4, and 2.
And a Mardi Gras of draws for Paul Maxfield, who now has the big advantage in the hand, will go all in with a straight draw and a flush draw, and actually a straight flush draw. And Chau wants to take a look at that pot to see if he's going to call it down.
If he wins this pot,
Robert Williamson mixing things up at the other end.
what kind of price would y'all get me? Europe versus USA. There's 4 of y'all. 4 represents USA, and y'all got the chip leader.
Australia's not in Europe, Robert.
I know. I know. Australia. That's where he invited me to go down to the land under. Down under, that is.
Robert wants a Ryder Cup of poker right now.
And now we got one guy doing math over here, the other guy back there doing geography. Rather poorly, I may add.
Very poorly.
You have the I believe 2 jack, 2 king, 2 jack and 2 queen.
Chau will call it.
Ooh, I like it.
So now
You have big draw.
Paul Maxfield at risk, but he's got the advantage.
Giang's best hope, an ace or a king.
You want to see a face card, Chau?
Base.
Oh, an ace, and that pairs Giang.
Yeah, that he now has aces and 8s, and that is just a dagger to Maxfield. Maxfield still wants a spade, a 7, 6, or 3.
But instead, it's a king of hearts, and that pairs Giang again. As you see the cards fade away, the aces and kings win it for Chau Giang, and Paul Maxfield eliminated in 8th place.
The World Series of Poker presented by Miller High Life, Omaha.
Welcome back to our Omaha final table action. Back underway, 7-handed now. And the table folds over to Mike Wattell from Phoenix, Arizona. 1 bracelet in Omaha high-low. And you look at his 4 hole cards, you can almost play hopscotch if you set those out, Norm.
Yeah, he's got some holes in between those cards. Nothing special. High cards, looking for some type of high card, straight action, something.
He'll bet $14,000 over to Robert Williamson, who looking at a couple of kings.
That's a better looking hand. He's got the big pair that he's going to raise with. He's also got the king spade flush working. And in Omaha, when you believe you have the best hand, you want to bet big and force out the draws that might beat you.
34,000.
34,000 now.
And Wattel realizes that when it comes around to him, if he wants to play, that's going to put him all in because of Williamson's bet.
So everybody folds in front of Wattel, and now back to him for the decision.
All right, I'm going with it.
He's going to take his shot.
Got 2 aces?
2 kings. 1 suit.
And he knows that he is far behind in the hand as we get ready for the flop. And here it comes 5 king ace. Wattel gets an ace, but Williamson with a set of kings.
A set of kings now, and now Wattel is going to be looking for a jack to make a straight.
Turn card is a blank, no use to either player.
Wattel might want to think about getting up right now to save time when leaving the table. Only a jack would save him.
But he instead gets the 6 of hearts, and 3 kings for Robert Williamson eliminates Mike Wattel in 7th place.
I got to go with it. Don't break me.
Well, that first spot, I lost my voice. Now I got some chips to gamble with. Let's gamble.
Well, all those chips for Robert are bad news for everyone at the table, and the talking could bother Englishman Dave Coakleth. After all, table talk is actually banned in European play, just one of the many differences with players across the pond.
Back in Europe, pot limit Omaha is the mainstay. This is what we've been brought up playing. So, a lot more of the Europeans have got a lot more experience than the Americans in the game.
Because Americans dominate so much in so many events, it's really not so much Americans against the Europeans, but there are a few of us that take it real seriously.
The American professional poker players, it's very much a matter of raise. Somebody goes, re-raise.
Probably correct, the bold, brash American ideology versus the
Slightly more sophisticated.
slow European thought-out processing.
I'd like to think there's a lot more finesse in the game.
2 totally different animals.
I'll be not settling for 2nd place today.
Got to bring the gold to America.
Carson Johansson is going to finish in 6th place.
And there you hear tournament director Matt Savage announcing that one of Dave's fellow Europeans, Carson Johansson, has just been eliminated. Robert, of course, happy and animated as usual. And Dave typically reserved, as the British are. You see our Toyota chip count. Lisandro on top, Robert Williamson comfortable, and Dave Kolkoff bringing up the rear.
But you're not going to play many events. You're only going to play like 4 or 5 events, right?
Yeah, I don't play real much event. This is my favorite event.
I know it is. I get to see a lot of you.
Oh, well, last year I played here, Chau, when you got me out. I'm the final Chau, by the way. All 2 times. Played 2 of these. It's good. I like it.
These two actually tangled back in 2002's pot limit Omaha final table, where Robert won the bracelet and Chau finished in 4th position. So they do have a history. Chau will fold. And now we go to Mingla. You see his hole cards right there.
He's got 2 clubs. He's also got a straight possibility there.
Now over to Robert Williamson. And he wishes he could use all 4.
Yeah, but even I'm not that fond of this hand. I mean, he really should play this hand like a porcupine makes love, very carefully. Oh, he disagrees with me. He's coming on in.
About even, though, as we come to the flop. Ace, 6, 5, a pair of aces for Law, and boy, the door's open for Williamson.
Unbelievably open. He gets 2 pair. He gets an open-ended straight draw. He gets a flush draw.
All in.
Yeah, it was how much, not if.
Robert said all in, but really he's putting Ming La all in by betting the pot. Ming just with the pair of aces and not a whole lot of other possibilities.
That's a tough call when you think your day might be over.
If you're taking that long, I know I want you to call. I said if you're taking that long, I know I want you to call. I didn't know if I wanted to for sure, but I thought I did, but now I know I want to.
Put this in first here.
Ming getting a count on the pot.
We should all be careful what we ask.
Oh, give him a break, Robert. Give him a break. Let him make his decision.
It's not European poker, remember? We can talk in America.
I know you can talk.
In Europe, I wouldn't have said a word.
That's why I'm talking.
Get out the dueling pistols.
Williamson may appear to be a little overbearing in the situation and out of line, but he really isn't. Frankly, it's Kokloff who's out of line. He's not even in the hand, and he's talking to these guys.
Good call.
Ming La, all in.
2 pair opening straight and a flush draw.
I know that.
Straight draw and a flush draw.
And 2 pair.
Robert Williamson, his own best press agent, letting everybody know how good his hand is as we go to the turn. It's a 10, actually helps Ming La.
I give him 3 extra outs.
Yeah, now a king, a non-heart king for a straight for Ming La.
And here comes the river card. It is a queen of hearts, and you see Williamson's cards, the 4 and 6 of hearts. He does get his flush and wins the hand. Ming La has been eliminated here at our pot limit Omaha final table. In 5th place, Robert Williamson collecting more chips here. Always dangerous.
He's trying to manipulate him into calling. I'm sorry.
No, it's not a problem.
I really was. I felt like he had a dry ace like that, and I wanted to play a big pot. That's exactly what I did everything I could to get a call there.
Don't be sorry. I just thought you were taking it to, it's all right having a go, but like carrying on and 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 on.
Don't take it personal.
There is our Toyota Player of the Year leaderboard, headed right now by Paul Phillips. In 8th place, Daniel Negreanu, always dangerous. He's in the hunt. Among the 831 no-limit starters is one name you may have expected to be on that leaderboard, Phil Hellmuth. After skipping the first 3 events, he's finally making his presence felt as he tries for an historic 10th bracelet. And as usual, not just letting his cards do the talking.
Last year I missed the first 6 events and still won 2, This is the World Series of Poker. This is what I come for. This is why I play poker.
After finishing in the money in his first event, in the next 2, he would be knocked out early, an exit in typical Hellmuth style.
I could have played better, and that's why it hurts, because I really want to get bracelet number 10 and break all the records. That's what I want so bad. I think I care too much, I don't think anybody cares about this as much as I do. So I'm just going to sit around depressed for a little while and hopefully recover.
That road to recovery began the very next day, but another loss out of the money. And today, Hellmuth had his back against the wall. He went all in with a pair of jacks and was quickly called by Scott Fishman with an ace-10 offsuit. He quickly paired his ace and sent Phil packing again.
Nice hand, buddy.
How can I fold?
Some people like being 2.5 to 1 underdogs for all their money.
How does he expect me to fold that for 600 more? Give me a break.
Scott Fishman is actually another member of Dutch Boyd's crew who, as you'll remember, vowed to take over the poker world, knocking out Hellmuth. Well, maybe a good start. Robert Williamson has built himself a nice and aesthetically pleasing stack of chips. There's Robert's sister, Karen Ann.
Play the good hands.
Oh, maybe his poker coach too, Norm. Play the good hands. That's my problem with this game.
One of many.
I don't have a bracelet, by the way.
Well, sorry, sis. Actually, Robert told us he's promised the bracelet if he gets it to his dad. A nice gesture. All right, so Robert's whole card. Well, he's well on his way with 2 aces.
And as usual, he's going to push. With aces, you usually push. At least in America, you do. You push the aces before the flop.
And Robert Williamson pushes 14,000 chips in over to Dave Kokloff from Birmingham, England. And you'll look at his whole cards and quite a few possibilities there.
Yeah, he'll like possibilities. As opposed to the aces, Europeans believe Americans overvalue aces. A lot of Americans are hold'em players.
I'm raising the pot.
And he raises with his straight draw and flush draw.
30 more.
30 more. Is that official? I'm all in.
Robert loves his aces.
And remember, Williamson's really just betting the pot to force an all-in decision from Kokloff.
And that's what he does.
I got the aces.
Aces and king.
Oh, I got the hand to crack aces.
Oh, he actually has a good hand against aces, yeah.
So Kokloff can double up or be eliminated from this tournament.
Good luck to you, my friend.
I think you're going to make the hearts if I look at it.
And here comes the flop.
You've been right every time so far.
3 aces for Williamson now.
But hold the phone. Kokloff is not dead yet.
Yeah, that's about the best he can get. That's good. That's flush.
9.
He's got a flush draw, or a 9 or a king makes a straight.
All right, we're ready for the turn card. And it's another ace. 4 aces for Williamson. Wow.
You can hang up the phone now. It's over.
Dave Cochliff eliminated in 4th position.
Yeah, the spades and all.
Those American aces aren't too bad, huh?
No, not at all. I hope Cochliff has a nice non-stop back to London.
4 aces.
After their exchange earlier, Robert Williamson is very happy to do the dirty work himself and knock Cochliff out of the tournament in 4th place.
If you gave Robert my hand, I'm quite sure Robert would have played my hand very aggressively as well. I wouldn't say there was any aggravation. I still like Robert a lot. You know, he's a nice guy. But tell Robert that Australia isn't in Europe.
Oh, the Australian isn't even on Australia. He actually lives in Italy. He's a casino manager there. Jeffrey Lisandro, 92,000 is the low stack. Chau Giang, 249,000. We've got a tight race here for the top spot. Let's see what Robert has.
265.
He's our chip leader.
Robert says he is a chip leader with 265.
He likes to have the biggest front yard.
Yum, yum. Yum, yum.
You need rock and roll, baby. Put them all deep in there before you see the
Can you put all your chips in before the flop?
No, you moron. It's not no limit. It's pot limit.
On our Miller High Life pocket cam, you see Robert Williamson's cards. A lot of high cards again.
Yeah, Lon, you've written it down, but I'm going to tell you again, he can only use 2 of those cards. With 3 community cards.
He's got 4 hearts, though. Can't you know?
No, write it down again. You can't read your own handwriting.
Chau Giang also has some high cards there. Not quite as good, but he'll play. It's in the small blind. Over to Jeff Lisandro. And he squeezes an ace-queen, 7 and 6.
Yeah, he's got the nut diamond flush possibility. And a couple of cards that straighten out.
Lisandro will put some chips in actually on the raise. Now, he'll be a slight favorite, but look at those percentages, 35, 31, 34. And Robert Williamson calls. Chau Giang will fold. We'll go two-handed to the flop. 50-50. And here it comes. It's 5, Jack, 7, a diamond draw for Lisandro and 2 sevens.
Yes, but right now, Robert with the better hand with a pair of jacks. Lisandro with the better draw. That's a slight favorite here.
Lisandro bets 36,000 to Williamson.
I'm all in.
Robert's moved all in.
Robert Williamson, a lot of possibilities now, is all in.
And he puts Lisandro all in there, and Lisandro says, all right, I'm going to do it.
And so Lisandro would be eliminated if he loses this hand to Robert Williamson.
One more time.
Hold 'em dice. Hold 'em dice.
Here comes the all-important turn card. It's a 6. Lisandro has 2 pair.
But Williamson can still beat that with an ace, jack, 10, 9, 8, or 5 that's not a diamond. Seriously.
The river card. Bingo, it's an 8. Robert Williamson comes from behind. His jacks and 8s beat Lisandro's 2 pair. And we're going to heads up between Williamson and Giang. Jeff Lisandro eliminated in 3rd place. He'll take a nice check home.
Chau. Let's get him, baby. You and me.
Yeah, right now.
We got our wish, right?
Yes, baby.
We got our wish. We get to play.
Heads-up action is already underway at our Omaha final table, and here's what they're playing for. $188,000 in cash, and of course the coveted bracelet. These two combatants are both used to high-stakes pressure, but when it comes to gambling, Robert Williamson will bet on just about anything. Perhaps he's a savvy investor or just nuts.
Some people say I got a lot of gamble to me.
I'm gonna let you 3.5 that you cannot kick it onto the roof from here. But you got it.
I'm on?
Yeah.
And I can't kick the ball onto the roof from here.
Yeah.
And I really do. I'm a pure gambler. I have a lot of gamble to me. Want another one? I don't mind gambling with people.
I'll give you a chance to get even. It's either even or double. So you're letting me only 2 to 1.
Bet. I live a pretty highfalutin lifestyle, and I've done well in everything I've ever tackled in my life. Bottom line is, I'm a closet analytical thinker. Obviously, you had something in mind on a trick to get this ball up there, and I'm going to think it through right quick, and I'm going to get the ball on that roof. Luck is where opportunity meets preparation, and those that are prepared will meet opportunity, and that's where the two clash. That's what's called luck. Luck is a day-to-day swing, but if you're prepared and keep putting yourself in those great places, you're going to seem lucky. I got to have 6-1 now.
You know, Robert loves to say he just dabbles in sports betting. That's like Madonna saying she just dabbles in sexually suggestive music videos.
If Vegas has a line on kickball, Robert's all over it. Chau Giang has taken over the chip leadership from Robert Williamson. And there you see the hole cards of Giang. He's got a couple of queens buried in there.
Yeah, and it's straightening, and he's got club flush possibility. Nice looking hand, heads up.
18,000 chips go to the middle. Over to Robert Williamson.
So many.
And he'll play, and he's got also high cards that are straightening out and a lower club flush.
Oh, he's an underdog in the hand right now. And 8-6 queen on the flop. A set of queens for Chau Giang.
And he's now a big underdog, Williamson, even though he made 2 pair. But as you said, the set of queens is a great hand for Chau.
Chau Giang bets 25,000 over to Robert Williamson.
Like we say at home, call if you don't like money, Robert, because you got a losing hand.
Raise pie.
He disagrees. He's raising. He probably thinks he has the best hand because he does have top 2 pair and a straight draw.
67,000 from Williamson. He won this title in 2002.
Chau's definitely going to play. He's deciding what he's going to do, though.
I'm going all in.
There's the decision, all in.
I'm behind him on that one.
I'm all in.
So Robert Williamson will be out if he loses this hand.
Chau has a set of queen.
Damn.
Robert has queens and 8s and a gut
Top
shot
2.
straight draw.
I need a 10. Or a club. Or club. Oh, not even club. Gotta have 10. No, he's got clubs too. I gotta have a 10.
Card.
10 dice. 10 dice.
5 of diamonds.
Oh, 7 now. 7 or 10.
Needs a 10 or a
7 or 10 gives him a straight.
7 or 10. 7 or 10.
Chau Giang, 1 card from a championship.
7 or 10.
Give us a 10.
7 or 10. 7 or 10. Come on, dice. 7 or 10. 7 or 10. 7 or 10. 7 or 10. 10!
He was a 4-1 underdog and takes a huge pot.
7 or 10. You better kidding me. You better kidding me. Man.
Oh, let's go.
Man.
Chau.
What the heck is that? Listen, you better kidding me.
And Chau just stung, looks at his cards again, checks the board again, and replays the apocalypse in his head.
The only reason why I played all in on the pot, I decided when I re-raised I was going to play it all in no matter what. I had to make a decision either not to raise or play it all in. But if I don't have a gut shot with it, I don't make the play. I know I've got to have some outs if he's got a top set. He did.
Well, we know he's his own best press agent. Now he's his own interviewer. But Robert Williamson, the bottom line, he's got a 3-1 chip advantage after that huge come-from-behind win over Chau Giang.
Woo. I'm sorry it was you. I'm glad it was me.
7 or 10.
The World Series of Poker presented by Miller High Life.
You're not still mad at me, are you?
Chau's taking it out on the chewing gum.
Guess that's a yes.
Oh, why not? He just lost a lot of chips in that last hand.
Remember, you can only use 2 of your hole cards, but Chau has so many combinations he can go with. He's got a pair of 6s. He's got 2 spades. He's got 2 diamonds. He's got cards that are straightening, but he can only use 2 to make his best hand.
Well, that's the beauty of Omaha, the complexity, and why some people love this game. Robert Williamson now with cards that can connect as well. He's also got 2 diamonds. And he will call. And so we'll go to the flop. 3-6-5, a set of 6s for Chau Giang.
Giang in a dominating position. Well, this is pot limit. Robert Williamson, you can bet the pot. If it's a small pot, you can't bet much. If it's infinity, you can bet infinity. He's betting on his diamond draw right now and a straight draw.
30 more.
Chau Giang puts all his chips in the pot.
Let's see, got lucky this time one more time. Here, beat this hand one more time.
Oh, this is nearly an identical situation to the last hand, Norm.
Get this. What you need?
Chau has Robert right where he wants him again. He needs a miracle. Robert's going to need an 8.
It's only 9, huh?
Wow, you keep having monster hands.
Hey, you play with the best player. You didn't know it. You got to win because you're the best in the world.
8.
Turn cards a jack, no help to Robert Williamson.
Robert gets us 8 on the river. We're going to need a code blue for Chau.
Give him the 8. It's over. Give him an 8.
Hearts. Hearts.
No 8, it's a jack.
If you beat this hand one more time, you win.
Chau wins it with his full house.
Makes a full house, you're right.
You didn't make it this time, huh? Thank you, God. You think it's over, huh? Like 10 minutes ago.
Chau was on his last leg, but he is back.
Hey, it's a poker, buddy.
Wow.
Chau clearly excited with his comeback, and actually his passion for tournament play was rekindled on the home front.
Chau is a very successful tournament player. He was a successful tournament player before he played really big side games. And now his kids actually get to say, hey, there's Daddy on TV.
This is my wedding picture. We get married in Vietnam. This is my wife, me, and Dion and Hillary. And this is my son, Khan. They're trying to win this tournament for my son.
I think he's a great poker player.
Watching television, poker World Series. Then he go, Daddy, you're a poker player. How come I never see you on television?
I think he does well in poker.
They go, Daddy, you got to win. You got to be a champion. That's mean a lot to me.
Robert, I'll play with the best player in the world right here.
Chau is indeed one of the best players in the world, and now his son can see the proof on TV. Here we go. We continue at our Omaha final table. Heads up, Chau Giang. A lot of possibilities once again.
Not a real good hand, but when you get to heads up, non-playable hands become more playable.
Robert Williams with a king, 8, 6, and 4, and he raises.
16's a raise. 16's a raise.
All right, so the call comes from Chau Giang. Here comes the flop. It is 8, 6, 2, and it's 2 pair for Williamson.
But Chau's actually the favorite in the hand because of all the draws to a straight he has right now.
Pot.
At the pot again.
Robert likes it with top 2 pair.
48,000.
I'm all in.
Once again, Chau Giang all in what could be his swan song.
I'm all in.
And Williamson calls.
I got top 2 this time.
And here we go again.
I got it round.
Oh, I finally got the best hand with the money in. Wow.
But you're not favored, don't worry.
It's about even money. You're a slight favorite.
This could be it for Chau Giang. All his chips at risk.
Pair of the board.
Turn cards a 10 of clubs.
Chau could now make a straight with a 3, 4, 5, 7, or 9. In fact, I believe he can make a straight if a card from an Uno deck comes out.
Face card.
No,
Face
don't
card.
listen to
Face
him.
card.
One
Face
tap.
card.
River card is a 9, and Chau makes his straight to win. 7-5 in his hand, and the 6, 8, 9 on the board. Chau Giang comes from behind to defeat Robert Williamson. Oh, he's devastated.
100. Hey, where's the clown?
The crowd went nuts when Robert Williamson got his card on the river. Chau Giang just won some of the love, and deservedly so. He is our chip leader. How many more times can these 2 poker heavyweights exchange blows? Taking a look at our Toyota chip count, Chau Giang with a commanding lead, but Robert Williamson can take heart because the tables have been reversed and he's fought back.
Robert right now that's a bit of an ugly duckling of a hand. Some of the cards connect. He's got 3 spades, but remember, he can only use 2 of them, so that's 1 spade more than he would want.
Williamson calls a big blind. Chau Giang now.
Go ahead.
He's spread out also, ace to 2.
Yeah, at least he has the ace club flush draw.
Here comes the flop now. Chau Giang with 2 pair 9s and 6s.
But Robert's going to come out firing because he has flopped a straight draw and a flush draw. In fact, a straight flush draw, 3, 4, 5, 6 of spades.
Williamson bets 16,000. Chau raises.
And he'll raise with the top two pair.
38.
Robert does not take too long to call that, and will go to the turn. Chau now has aces and nines.
Bet everything.
Well, actually, he's betting the pot, which will force Robert to go all in if he calls this pot limit bet.
Trying to figure out if all my draws are alive. If they're all alive, then I'm actually a small dog.
Well, he's got a 3, 4, 5, 6 of spades, an open-ended straight flush draw.
I know my straight flush is live.
Let's see. Have a look back. Oh, yeah, straight flush live.
Straight flush is live for sure. I know that. Wow, how much is in the middle?
114 in the pot.
This bet from Chau is a textbook pot limit Omaha wager. When you have the best hand at the moment, you want to drive out the draws, force out the draws so they can't make their hands. And he's putting Robert to the test. Robert had to put in his remaining chips. He's out of the tournament if he doesn't make this draw. It's a very hard call to make.
Set, Chau?
I'm not going to tell nothing.
Set in a flush draw?
I know that what?
Give a chump a chance. Come on.
Poker's nice. I love to play poker.
I know you do. I love to, too.
Well, sometimes it's just great to watch.
Well, I think the rabbit cam's going to have to catch this one.
Players call it rabbit hunting when you look at what the river card would be.
The rabbit cam's going to really punish me.
Just take a joint and tell you what do you have.
Make sure
There's the would-be river card. Rest easy, Robert. It wouldn't have helped you.
I want to see that card. Straight draw, flush draw. I guess 4 or 5 of spades, though.
You don't total line.
I showed 4 or 5 spades right here on the camera, Chau.
You don't have a show. I think you're worth any time.
I showed it, baby.
Hey, buddy, I think you're worth any time. You don't have to sell him.
I wouldn't take his word any time, but he's telling the truth right here.
Robert Williamson under 100,000 chips.
If I remember right, you were down further than this while ago, right?
Right.
My turn.
It just may be. We've seen quite a lot happen here at the final table of this pot limit Omaha Championship.
Yeah, it's hard to root against either of these guys. They've both played so tremendously all day long.
Now look at the hole cards of Chau Giang. Very similar. It seems every hand there has a straight possibility.
Yeah, he's got 2 diamonds and some connecting cards.
He calls the big blind over to Robert Williamson, 2 aces.
That's an automatic raise when he's got the aces before the flop. And we saw him with the aces against Dave Coklaw and take him out with this very similar hand against a draw.
And he is going to call it. Here comes the flop, and it's Chau Giang with a straight and a flush draw. Williamson with 2 aces.
All in.
Well, actually, he can't go all in. He can just bet the pot right now. Chau could put him all in by raising.
All in. I call well, everything in there.
And he does it.
You're raising me in?
Yeah.
54,000.
So once again, Robert Williamson is all in. His tournament life on the line.
No, you're a dog.
And he's a big dog. Even though Williamson has the aces, Chau is the big favorite because of an incredible drawing hand. He can win with a diamond, or he can win with a jack, 10, or 5 to make a straight.
Here's the turn card. 4 spades.
And Robert dodges everything there, so Robert's chances improve. He still has the best hand right now with aces.
Chau would win with a jack, 10, 5, or diamond. Here is the river card. It's a king of diamonds, and Chau gets the flush. From the brink of elimination to Omaha champion, Chau Giang.
Played great.
You'll play really good.
Played great.
What a terrific heads-up match. Great Omaha pros slugging it out. It's a shame only one could be champ.
It's kind of heart-wrenching, actually. I'd have given him all the money. I just wanted the bracelet and the title, but he played incredible poker today.
Indeed he did, right to the end. He survived Robert's miracle on the river.
Hit me one time.
And then he came back and came back strong.
Chau, congratulations. 2 bracelets several years ago, and then you stopped playing tournaments. Why'd you start playing tournaments again right now?
I just try and play so hard. I'm trying to win the tournament so bad for my children.
Well, kids, be proud. Your father won his 3rd bracelet and is coming home with a whole lot of cash. See you next time on the World Series of Poker.